The person who gave me the best advice for financial freedom was my mother. She always told me when I was young, Will, if you can't touch it, don't do it. Yeah, I just bought a crib for 35, a jet for 35, the investments, I'm over 100 million in the last 6 months. In some kind of way, I always been a good businessman, you know what I'm saying? I always kept my face clean and said what it was.
Rick Ross didn't just rap about being a boss, he actually became one. By understanding the principle, so basic yet so powerful, that most people overlook in their entire lives: assets over liability. That is the game changer. Before you click away thinking that this is another get rich quick kind of video, let me stop you right there. This isn't about lottery tickets or cryptocurrency moonshots. It's about the same blueprint that Rick Ross used to go from a correctional officer to owning over 25 Wingstop franchises, multiple car washes, and over 235 acres estate in Georgia.
Honestly, I don't want to say yet. To me, real estate has always been an asset. You can make a new car. You can't make that corner. You gotta buy that corner.
He can start implementing his strategy in the next 90 days, regardless of where you are financially right now. See, Rick Ross understood something that most people completely miss. Every dollar you spend is either building you an empire or tearing it down. There is no middle ground. When Ross talks about his journey, he doesn't glorify the chains and the car first. He talked about the chicken wings. Yeah, you heard that right. When everybody else was focused on looking rich, Rick Ross was focused on becoming rich through boring, unsexy investment that actually puts money in his pocket.
I just gonna get rich being next to me doing one thing. You gotta be ready to do 5, 7, 10 things. So whatever you did in the hood, that's cool. You was respected for that, but over here, we gotta do this, we gotta do that.
Let's break this down the way Rick Ross sees it. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. That lease of a BMW you can barely afford, it's liability. Those designer clothes you bought to impress people you don't even like, liability. And the bottle service at the club last weekend, you already know, liabilities. But here is where everything is getting interesting. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. That Wingstop franchise Rick Ross invested in, it's bringing money, making money while he sleeps. And the car wash he bought, every single car that rolls through is padding his bank account. Now you might be thinking, I don't have that kind of Wingstop franchise money. That's exactly where Rick Ross' 90-day wealth building strategy comes in. You don't need to start big, you just need to start smart. Ross himself said he started cutting down his own grass at his property instead of paying someone else. That's not being cheap, it's about understanding that every dollar saved is a dollar that can be invested. Here is a 90 days blueprint that aligns with everything Rick Ross preaches. The first 30 days, you are going to become a detective of your own life. Track every single penny. Ross talks about how he knows exactly what each of his businesses make down to the cent. You need that level of self-awareness. Download the budget app or even use a Google spreadsheet, a notebook if you have one, but just for the next 30 days. You are going to see exactly where your money is bleeding out. And most people discover they are spending hundreds, sometimes thousands on things that add zero value to their lives. That subscription you forgot about, that daily coffee that could be made at home, that impulse purchases that gives you a 5 minutes high. Rick Ross didn't become rich by depriving himself. He became wealthy by being intentional. Every dollar has a purpose, a mission. The 30 to 60, this is where you flip the script. You are going to take that money you were wasting to start your first micro investment. Ross talks about starting where you are with what you have. If you can't afford a Wingstop, start pressure washing business with a few $100s. And if you can't afford that car wash, start dealing cars and supplies from Walmart. The point isn't about the size of the investment, it's the mindset shift from consumer to owner. Now, Rick Ross emphasizes something crucial here. You need to invest in something you understand. He goes into Wingstop because he understood the food business, the customer base, the profit margin. Don't chase trend, chase knowledge. If you know social media, maybe your asset is content creation service. And if you know fitness, maybe it's online coaching. The asset doesn't have to be revolutionary. It just has to be real. Here's where Rick Ross' philosophy gets even deeper. He talks about how wealth isn't just about making money. It's about making money make money. Those Wingstop franchises, They are not just selling chickens, they are creating jobs, building equity, generating cash flows that Rick Ross used to buy more assets. It's a circle, and once you understand it, you can't unsee it. The 60 to 90, this is where you double down. You have identified your leaks, you have started your first asset. Now accelerate. Ross talks about reinvestment constantly. When that pressure washing business makes its first $500, you don't have to blow it on celebration yet. You buy better equipment. When it makes $1,000, you hire help so you can take more clients. This is how empires are built, not in giant leaps, but in constant strategic steps. Now here's the part of Rick Ross' strategy that nobody talked about enough. He never forgot where he came from. When he bought that first Wingstop, he made sure he hired help from his community. And when he purchased that massive estate, he turned it into a place where he could bring people to inspire them. Real wealth, according to Rick Ross, isn't just personal, it's communal. When you build assets, you're not just securing your future, you are creating opportunities for others. Let's get practical about how this looks like in real life. Say you are making $4,000 a year, and after your audit, you find you're spending $300 a month on things that doesn't even serve you. That's $3,600 a year. And instead of seeing it as spending money, Ross will see it as seed money. $3,600 a year could start a dozen different businesses. It could buy equipment for a service business. It could fund inventory for an online store. It could even be used as a down payment on rental properties in some markets. The key here is to stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like Ross, like an owner. When Rick Ross drives through the city, he doesn't just see building, he sees opportunities. That empty lot could be a car wash. That busy intersection could be perfect for a Wingstop. That's the mindset shift that happens when you commit to assets over liabilities.
Amazing, estate. And now it's actually turned into a tourist destination. People have parties here, and it's like now, once again, turning the liability into an asset, yeah. And now you actually can make money.
Most definitely, visuals you wouldn't even imagine. The video list could go on and on. From Skip Marley, they was playing soccer. You wouldn't have knew that was on the promised land.
And here's something Rick Ross emphasizes that might surprise you. Patient. In a world of overnight success stories and viral moments, Ross built his empire brick by brick. Those Wingstop franchises didn't all come at once. He bought one, learned the business, maximized its potential, then bought another. Your 90-day plan isn't about becoming a millionaire in 3 months. It's about starting the process that makes millionaire status inevitable. Think about it this way. If you start one small asset in the next 90 days that brings in just about $500 a month in profit, that's like $60,000 a year. Reinvest that in 5 years while adding more assets. You are looking at serious wealth. Ross didn't get rich overnight. He got rich for sure because he understood this principle. The biggest mistake people make, according to Ross' philosophy, is waiting for the perfect moment, waiting until they have the money, more time, more knowledge. But Ross started his journey while working full-time. He didn't wait for the permission or the perfect opportunity. He created his opportunity with what he had available. Here is your wake-up call. While you are reading this, someone with less money, less education, and less opportunity than you is building their empire. They are not smarter than you, they are not luckier than you. They understand what Rick Ross understood, that wealth isn't just about what you make, it's about what you keep and grow. So here's your challenge in the next 90 days. Stop buying liabilities that make you look rich and start buying assets that make you actually rich. Stop financing other people's dream with your consumption and start building something that pays you. Stop waiting for the perfect moment and realize that the perfect moment is right now. Rick Ross going from a correctional officer to a mogul, not through magic, but through methodology. Assets over liabilities, investments over consumption, building over buying. These aren't just catchphrases. They are blueprint to wealth that anyone can follow. The question isn't whether you can do it, the question is whether you will. Your 90 days starts now. What is it going to be? Another 3 months of the same, or the first 3 months of your empire? Rick Ross made his choice. Now it's time for you to make yours. The boss move isn't just about flashing wealth you don't have. It's quietly building wealth that nobody can take away. That's Rick Ross' way. That's the path from liability to assets. And that's how anyone, including you, can start building real wealth in the next 90 days.